Working in retail is never easy, especially when you have to deal with a bunch of crazies. Welcome to this episode of Tales from Retail. Our first one is from Real Pokesatsu, titled People Like a Helpful Person, I guess? I work at a grocery store where, as a bagger stalker, sometimes I help people take groceries to their cars. I don't mind doing so because I like taking a breather before going back to work. I never expected anything in return. A few days ago, a woman I've helped a few times, let's just call her Mrs. Smith, stopped me before I went back inside. She gave me $20. I told her I couldn't accept it because I didn't do that much to help her, and she might need it for something later on. She looked a bit sad.
Honey, I've been shopping here every Thursday afternoon since the store opened. I've met so many employees over the past few years, but none have offered to help me load groceries into my car. The cashier usually asks, then if I say yes, the bagger looks annoyed and does a rushed job. I've had crushed bread, broken eggs, and one even stole some sandwich meat from me. However, I've heard you ask every customer if they need help to their cars. Usually they say no, but you at least offer. Take this as a thank you from us old folk and pay back tips from the past few trips. At least let me do this for you. I know this job probably doesn't pay well right now.
I didn't know what to say. She stuffed the $20 bill in my shirt pocket, patted my chest, and walked to the front of her car. As she got in, she asked me how much the job pays and why I'm here. $8.25 an hour, but it'll be $10 by the end of the year. I'm getting my own apartment soon, saving up for a car, and my hobbies cost a pretty penny sometimes. I take every hour I can get. She nodded, said have a good day, and drove off. When I got my new schedule for this week, I was working every day but Saturday. This was odd, so I asked my manager if something went wrong or if someone quit. He said no. Make sure your apartment is always clean. Show me your car when you get it, and if your hobbies are expensive from time to time, let me know when you need more hours to afford them. Mrs. Smith asked my manager to give me more hours. I almost cried. I never expected anything in return. I just wanted to save money so I can move out of my mom's boyfriend's house and get my life together. Now that might be easier. Thank you, Mrs. Smith. It's amazing how if you treat other people the way you would like to be treated, a lot can happen, and in this case, this tale is just wholesome in and of itself all the way around. I'm so happy that it ended the way it did, and I hope everything is going well for all parties involved. This next tale is by The Elder Rich Rider, titled, I Want to Buy Cigarettes from You. We have a regular at the gas station I work, though not really a typical regular, comes in daily. She came in one evening and said she wanted to buy smokes. I was like, sure, what kind do you want? And the response was just a,
what do you have?
Which I thought kinda odd since we have a big wall just behind me with all our cigarettes and cigars on display. But I rattle off with what we have. She interrupts me.
No. What do you have? I want however many you'll give me for this.
And she puts up like $2 on the counter. That's when it hit me. You see, she has this kind of notoriety that goes with why I say she's not a typical regular. She comes in every day, but she rarely buys from the store. She will instead buy smokes from whoever is working. Like, buy a cigarette from their pack. I have to explain to her that I don't smoke. I didn't have any coworker at the moment either, since he had to duck out for a few minutes. She didn't believe me because apparently no one in their 20s doesn't smoke and continues to ask and then demand I sell her one of the cigarettes from my own non-existent pack. She didn't want to spend the $8 to $9 on her own pack and was absolutely positive she had seen me smoking in front of the store before. I had a line forming behind her, a long one. And I gave up and told her that I don't smoke, and if I did, I had no reason to sell her my own personal stuff. If she would like some smokes, she could buy a pack. Otherwise, I needed her to leave the line as I had other customers waiting. Wasn't happy, but she left. Still comes in nearly daily and buys smokes off my coworker or from other customers now. Still insists I smoke and was being a bad employee by not selling her my own cigs. Edit, for a bit of added stuff, I don't know when she claims to have seen me smoking. I'm lucky if I can get a 10-minute break just to eat something, and I sure ain't spending that time outside. She clearly was fiending for a cigarette that bad to just put a cigarette into your mouth basically by saying that you smoke, when in reality, she clearly wasn't paying the best attention and just needed that cigarette. I'm glad you handled it the way you did though. Our next tale is from Friendly Stoner Girl titled, Lady complained about my store on social media, but was at a different store down the road. I manage a small business. Today I had a customer leave a public comment on our public social media saying she was overcharged for an item we had advertised at a discounted price. Now, I had been in the store all morning. I asked my employees if this had happened. I checked the register. Didn't find any record of transaction. I replied letting her know she may have went to the wrong store, as our price is X and there is a similar store down the road with the same item at the price she paid. She was positive she was at our store. I called and asked for more info and told her I would call her back. 1. She said she was here this morning, said there was a female employee working outside with long hair. We have no female employee working outside today. We have a large man with short hair working outside. 2. It was busy and she walked into the front door at 11 p.m. We had a new fridge get stuck in our front door starting at 8:30 until 12. We had some customers using the back door, but most people didn't come in. It was a very slow day for customers. 3. There was a person putting air in their tires in the parking lot. I decided to check the cameras. Didn't see that older lady purchase a specific item anytime this morning since we opened. So I called her back. I apologized and told her I didn't want to offend her, but I checked the cameras, sales receipts, and based off the info she gave us, she wasn't here at our store. In a gentle way. She wasn't happy, obviously. Said she had been here before. I'm 100% positive she wasn't at my store. I have no problem fixing mistakes and owning up to them, but this wasn't our mistake. I didn't want to tell her my findings. I knew she wouldn't believe me anyways. I knew she would be mad. I needed to tell her my findings in case it escalated on social media. I have all the backup I need to know, and post back if she leaves a bad review. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything and just refunded the difference. It's not the money, it's the principle. Ugh. The way I look at it is you stood your ground. If she didn't get the item from you, you shouldn't have to give her money back. She needs to go to the correct place that she went, and if she wants to cause a problem on social media, then blast her with all the evidence and make her look dumb. It's really that simple. And our final tale is by Sucks to be Doxed, titled, You yelled at me. You can't do that. My coworker has a very loud voice. She laughs loud, talks loud. You can hear her from across the store. So this lady comes in and wants lobster claws. There's about 50 in the case and she's pulling the old,
No, not that one. That one.
Our view from behind and her view from the front are very different. So my coworker says, let me come out front and you can show me what you're pointing to. Personally, I can barely see their body through the case and all the seafood piled in it, let alone which specific tiny thing they are pointing at. So she goes around and the woman is pointing, so coworker opens the case from the front and goes to grab the desired claw. Woman says,
What are these big cooked shrimp here?
And starts picking them up with her bare hands, inspecting them and putting them back. My coworker says, you can't touch the shrimp. Customer says,
Excuse me?
Coworker repeats that we can't let customers touch the seafood. How would you like to come in and buy cooked shrimp and people have been touching it? She says,
You yelled at me. You can't do that. I'm telling your manager and having you fired.
We get a call later from our friendly customer service desk associate who says, some lady just said that coworker yelled at her and scared her because she was very loud. She also doesn't think that coworker should have scolded her. She told customer service,
She accused me of touching seafood, but I didn't. She was out of line.
Bitch, I was standing right there. You 100% stuck your ungloved hands into our cooked shrimp and then threw them back into the pile. I had to throw away the whole front layer of shrimp because of this customer. Lying customer, I should say. Edit, just to add, I remembered she even said,
"There's no sign saying I can't touch the shrimp."
even if there's not a sign, you think it's just common sense. You can't go up and just touch food unless you're planning to buy it, and even then, you can't just touch it because there's food handling procedures. Obviously, this Karen didn't know that, but this Karen also thought that causing a stink would get her something, I don't know. Makes you wonder what she was really after at this point. Alright, that's enough tales for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Tales from Retail. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.